walls in place and the roof complete, we can now move on to installing our external windows and doors. We'll be using a window in this example, but the process is the same for any external door. First, we'll glue and screw the subframe jamb to the timber reveal on the sides of the window or door. For this, we need our 75mm screws drilled at 200mm centres, but first make sure the subframe head is centred over the window and all the subframe pieces fit tight in the opening. Glue and screw the subframe jamb to the timber reveal on the top of the window using 60mm screws, again at 200mm centres, making sure to butt the subframe jamb up into the subframe head. When fixing the subframe, make sure the screws don't protrude through the reveal. Next, screw the 100mm screws into the subframe head to the subframe jambs on both ends. It's important that the inside face of the subframe is flush with the inside face of the timber reveal. We can now remove the tongue and groove from the top of the sill using a skill saw. This creates a flat surface for the window flashing to fit into, and any gaps or joins will need to be weather sealed. Now to the flashing. First check each end has an end cap before placing it on the outside edge. If it doesn't, you can create one by cutting and bending where needed to create a 20mm upstand. Nail the sill flashing through the upstands into the jamb of the opening with a single 30mm clout on each side. Place packers made from offcuts at 600mm centres to provide support for the window to sit directly on top of. You may need to adjust the thickness of the packers to ensure the window sill is level and the window jambs are plumb. Set the window with the subframes attached into the opening on top of the packers. Prior to installing the head flashing, we'll have to cut a groove 20mm up to accommodate the upstand. These cuts need to be on both sides, in line with the jamb opening and in between the outermost groove of the lintel and the exterior face. To form the head flashing, we need to cut it to length. The length is dictated by the size of the exterior head facing. Check against the top of the window and mark the edges of the opening on the flashing. We'll also need to make a 20mm upstand. Mark this out as well and then cut the top of the flashing back to reveal the upstand and check it's firmly in the opening. There can be a larger gap at the top, and this gap will shrink as the building settles. Just make sure you apply a generous amount of silicone to both the upstand's inside corners. Ensure the upstands fit in our 20mm cuts at either end while placing the flashing in between the subframe head and the lintel of the opening. Fix it to the subframe head with 30mm clouts at 600mm centres. Place some compressible foam tape in the rebate on the back of the exterior head facing. We want to centre the exterior head facing over the window and fix it to the subframe head with the 11x65mm wood screws at 600mm centres. Make sure the exterior head facing sits 5mm above the head flashing. We'll also run a bead of silicone across the top of the exterior head facing where it meets the wall. The exterior jamb facing has a 15-degree angle on the top end to accommodate the angle of the exterior head facing. Fix the jamb facing to the subframe jamb, making sure it's hard up against the underside of the head flashing. Before fixing the interior facings, a PEF rod and some expanding foam must be applied between the subframes and the wall where possible. The internal facings are then fixed to the timber reveals of the window or door with construction adhesive and brad nails, and with that our window is done.